If you're a man over 40 and you've noticed your desire for sex has quietly disappeared, you're not broken. You're not less of a man. And you're definitely not alone. But here's what nobody tells you. This isn't just about age. There are specific biological reasons this happens. And more importantly, most of them are completely reversible. I'm going to break down exactly what's happening inside your body after 40 and what you can actually do about it. Stay until the end, because the last point is the one most men completely miss. Section 1. The testosterone drop. The first reason is the one you've probably already heard about: testosterone. After the age of 30, men lose roughly 1% of their testosterone every single year. By the time you hit 40, you could have 10% less testosterone than you did in your prime. By 50, possibly 20% less. Now, testosterone isn't just about sex drive. It controls your energy, your confidence, your muscle mass, and your mood. When it drops, everything drops with it. But here's what most men don't realize. Low testosterone doesn't always feel like low testosterone. It often feels like tiredness, irritability, just not being interested in things you used to enjoy. Sound familiar? The good news is testosterone levels can be tested with a simple blood test. If yours are low, there are medically proven ways to raise them, and we'll get to that. Section 2. The dopamine problem. Here's the second reason, and this one is more serious than most men realize. Dopamine is the chemical in your brain responsible for desire, motivation, and pleasure. And in 2025, dopamine is under attack. Pornography, social media, fast food, alcohol, all of these flood your brain with artificial dopamine hits. Over time, your brain literally rewires itself to need more stimulation to feel anything. The result? Real sex with a real partner starts to feel boring. Not because your partner isn't attractive, but because your brain has been conditioned to need constant novelty and hyperstimulation. This is called dopamine desensitization, and it's quietly destroying the sex lives of millions of men over 40. The fix isn't complicated, but it requires discipline. Reduce or eliminate pornography. Limit social media scrolling. Give your brain time to reset. Most men who do this report a significant return of natural desire within 60 to 90 days. Section 3. Stress and cortisol. By the time a man hits 40, life is usually at its most stressful. Career pressure, financial responsibility, family demands, health concerns. The mental load is heavy. And here's the biological problem with that. When you're stressed, your body produces cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and cortisol is testosterone's direct enemy. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. It's a biological trade-off your body makes automatically. Your body is essentially saying, "This isn't a safe time to reproduce. Shut down the sex drive and focus on survival." This is why men who are going through difficult periods at work or in their relationships often lose sexual desire completely. It's not weakness. It's biology. Managing stress isn't just good for your mental health, it is directly connected to your sexual health. Exercise, sleep, and reducing caffeine after midday are 3 of the most effective cortisol reducers that actually work. Section 4. Relationship dynamics. Nobody wants to talk about this one, but it's real. After years in a relationship, familiarity sets in. The excitement of novelty fades. This is completely normal and happens to virtually every long-term couple. But many men misread this signal. They assume they've lost their sex drive entirely, when actually what they've lost is the specific spark with their current situation, not their capacity for desire itself. Research consistently shows that men who introduce novelty into their relationships, new experiences, new environments, honest communication with their partner, see a significant return of desire. This isn't about cheating or leaving your relationship. It's about understanding that desire needs fuel. And in long-term relationships, that fuel requires conscious effort from both partners. If you haven't had an honest conversation with your partner about your sex life in the last 6 months, That conversation is overdue. Section 5. Physical health. This is the one most men miss completely. Low sex drive after 40 is sometimes your body sending you a warning signal about something more serious. Conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and cardiovascular disease all directly suppress sexual desire and function. In fact, erectile dysfunction and low libido are often the first visible symptoms of heart disease in men, years before any chest pain appears. This is why any man over 40 experiencing a significant drop in sexual desire should get a full health check. Not just a testosterone test, a full blood panel including blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, and thyroid function. Your sex drive is connected to your overall health. When one drops, it's worth checking everything else. Section 6. The one thing most men miss. Here's the point I promised you at the beginning. Most men who lose sexual desire after 40 never talk about it. Not to their doctor, not to their partner, not to anyone. And silence makes it worse, because the shame and confusion around it creates anxiety. And anxiety is one of the most powerful suppressors of sexual desire that exists. The men who recover their sex drive fastest are the ones who face it directly. They get tested. They make lifestyle changes. They have honest conversations. The men who stay stuck are the ones who ignore it and hope it fixes itself. It rarely does on its own, but it almost always can be fixed with the right information and action. Conclusion. To summarize, losing interest in sex after 40 is common, but it is not inevitable and it is not permanent. Testosterone decline, dopamine damage, chronic stress, relationship familiarity, and underlying health conditions are the 5 main causes. Every single one of them is addressable. Get your blood work done. Clean up your dopamine habits. Manage your stress. Have the honest conversations. Your best years are not behind you. If this video helped you, subscribe to Men Uncovered for more honest men's health content every week. Drop a comment below. At what age did you first notice a change? Let's talk about it.